Hi, my name is Christina Ordner from Ordner Insurance, and I'm here with Michelle Redding. We are at the Stock Horse of Texas show and thought we would take a little break from the heat and talk to you about the basics of horse insurance.
Hi. One of the biggest questions I get asked, probably one of the most basic questions I get asked is horse insurance. Why do I need it? What's it going to do for me? And what's it going to do for my horse?
I know what you mean. I get asked that question often. So basically, our horses are an investment. They're our best friends, they're our partners out there. But just like your house or your car, they cost a lot of money. And so we want to make sure that you're protected in case they were, something were to happen on the road or turned out in the pasture or if they were to get sick. We want to make sure that that investment is covered.
Yeah. And there's different types of coverage. Policy plans, horse insurance policy will always start with the mortality. And the mortality coverage will provide you, again, God forbid something should happen, but it provides for mortality. It will give you theft coverage, and it will also give you emergency equine colic surgery coverage, which is kind of critical since colic is the number one killer of horses.
So tell me, how expensive is this?
In the big scheme of things, I got to tell you, it's not nearly as much as people think it is. When you look at the expense of purchasing the horse, hauling your horse down the road, whether you're going to a horse show or you're going to a roping or whether you're going to a barrel race, you want to protect that investment, and it's probably one of the least expensive things you will do in order to cover that.
So think of it as just like an entry fee for a couple shows or something.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Your mortality coverage is so inexpensive compared to the value of the horse.
So that mortality, when we think of that, we think of life insurance, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So it gives us the most basic coverages out there.
Basic, yes.
Okay.
And then there are different coverages that you can add, as you know.
Right. So some of those coverages are what we call major medical. We can do some surgical options. There's just many different levels to accommodate different budgets. One thing I think it's important to hit on is the fact that it's not like a typical medical plan. This is not going to cover your dental or your Coggins each year or your vaccinations. So this is for when something big happens and that we're questioning, how am I going to pay for this, right?
Right. You don't want that to have to determine what kind of value or what kind of care that your horse gets. You don't want that to be determined by whether or not you can do it. You
Right. You want to know that you have that. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the value of our horse, because that's a question that people, struggle with, is how much is that horse worth?
We know that a horse is priceless. It's invaluable to us. But in terms of insurance, we do have to put on a piece of paper what that horse is worth should something happen to it. We don't want to think about that, but it is kind of the beginning process. The horse's value, we start with the purchase price. We know that a lot of our horses go to training, that a lot of our horses go to shows, that what we paid for them they're worth a lot more. So we start with the purchase price, and then we can increase the value of the horse due to training and showing, and success in the show pen or success in the roping pen increases the value of the horse.
All right. So I know we've gone through this fairly quickly, but I think here what we want everyone to take away from this is that this process is simple. It's not hard. It's about developing relationships with your agent. What else can you say about that?
And again, she touched on it. Find a good agent. Find someone that a friend refers you to an agent, or you've got a good friend who does this. But the relationship with your agent is really kind of critical. They're going to take you through the process of the paperwork. They'll guide you through the process of claims. They're going to be your best buddy when it comes to taking care of your horse. So you can find them out there, so you can stay out there and enjoying your horse and having a good time, doing what you want to do.
You're right. And I'm so thankful that we were able to spend this time together today and that we get a moment to talk to you. And the key here is that we get you out there riding
Yeah.
and having a good time. So thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.